Welcome to my day 20. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I wanted to share, you guys might have some big dreams or big desires for the future, and you want all these things and you're willing to work hard to get it. And God sees your desire, and He's a God with abundance, a God of blessing, and He's willing to work through your desires, whatever they might be. And He sees them, and He knows them better than you know your own desires, right? He knows the desires of your heart. So never forget that. Because the devil, he wants to make you believe in the lies that God doesn't care about your desires, that He only cares about His own will, and He's going to impose that will on you. To an extent, God, He is going to conform you and transform your mind. He's going to pour His Spirit out upon you, and He's going to change who you are, and He's going to refine you, evolve you into the person that He called you to be. And in that sense, you'll have different desires then. But then again, at the end of the day, it is still your autonomy, your free will, and your dreams and aspirations. And God has called us to have goals, to have dreams. So don't be afraid to dream, but when you set a goal, hold it loosely so that wherever God may direct you, you don't have to fear, and you don't have to have attachment to a goal as an idol, an ambition as an idol, but you serve God alone. And in these goals are used to serve God as well. So if you make goals your master, your ambition your master, you can't serve two masters. You have to choose God or whatever you want to serve or go after. But instead, make your goals as though they are a slave, as they are a servant for your life, as a medium for you to serve God. So now that we have that out of the way, I wrote a little bit of notes for you. So whatever dream or desire you have, God, He doesn't willingly crush it. He doesn't want you to fail, though He might allow it for your own good. If it's something He sees that isn't good for you, He will work through the desires that you have for your good, right? So think about a 5-year-old. So all 5-year-olds, all he wants is cake for dinner, right? Every single day. And what do their parents say? Heck no. Because why? Because it's unhealthy. Yes, it tastes good in the moment, but it's unhealthy. But a 5-year-old doesn't have, the fundamental lobe of the logic, to be able to pursue that if I eat dinner or cake for dinner every day, that's unhealthy and that is bad for me. Though it may taste good, that's what I want, and that's all that I want to focus on. And that's the same way, I simplify it a lot, but God sees the desires of your heart, and He knows whether it's good for you or not, even if you can't perceive it yet, right? Because God, He is a God who knows all things that are that's possible. He's seen every single possibility of the future and knows it just like the back of His head. And if that expression works, He knows everything, every single possibility, every single disobedience of you and what it will lead to, and every single obedient act that you use to glorify Him, and with that will lead to. So every single every choice that you make, and everybody on earth has ever made, He knows that all the butterflies effects of those, and all the pathways that every choice that it can lead down. So why don't you trust in Him? So lean not only in your own understanding, and He will make your paths straight. He will make your path straight. And you can't lean on two things at one time. So a lot of times we may think that we have 2 feet so that we can walk in 2 different directions in one time, to God or to whatever we want or whatever we desire. But really, God and our dreams, they go hand in hand. You know, because God, He has so many blessings that He is ready to shower down on you. But you haven't opened up your life up to those blessings yet, right? And how can He bless you if you are not in a place to receive those blessings, right? What good father will his son ask for a fish and give him a serpent, you know? So God, He wants to bless you, but He won't bless you until you're ready for the blessing, right? Adam, you know, he was in God's perfect will, right? Right next to God, and in God's full manifest and present. You know, he can talk to God every day. And when God saw that it wasn't good for men to be alone and Adam needed some kind of helper, God didn't create Eve right away. Adam was lonely, you know, he was longing for a helper, but God didn't take away that longing. Instead, He said, let's name all the animals. All the animals. You know, that probably took at least about 100 years. But through that time, Adam, you know, looking at the dog over there, is that a suitable helper? An elephant over there, is that a suitable helper? No. So God, you know, just because you're in God's will, it doesn't mean that your pain and that your doubt and that your longings will be taken away. Right? So you'll still feel that. You'll still feel them. It's part of the process. You know, I know that it may not be what you want to hear, and it doesn't make it any less true. Right? But at the same time, stop looking at the evidence that God is going to fulfill His promises for you, because He has plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. You know, whatever dream, whatever desire you may have, you know, God, He wants you to succeed. But He only wants you to succeed if that's what's best for you. So if you desire a healthy meal for dinner, obviously your parents will give you that, right? But sometimes we're not developed enough to know yet what we need. You know, actually most of the time. Actually, I would say for the rest of our lives we are. We know because we can't see the future. A future that is already filtered by God's hands. It's already planned, right? So, you know who else has a plan? The devil has a plan for you. You know, if you succumb to his lies, how can God's plan ever come for you if you believe in the lies of the devil, right? The voice of the enemy shouldn't be overcome for the roar of the lion unless you actively are looking for what you want instead of like, stop looking for what you want and what you desire. So start looking for the person who knows what you really desire, because you don't even know, right? He will not plant seeds and doubt where He has already placed the roots of the assurance. So stop doubting, and to get what you want, you have to get it outside of God. You don't have to go to like all these quests, because God, He knows what you want, and it's all in the path of His heart. And everything you need and more. Abundance. It's only when you think that when you can get it on your own, that you can take it from somewhere else, and then going back to the path of God. So you start to lose it, you know? Because it was never meant for you in the first place. Right? Anyways, if this message resonated with you a little bit, I hope you like and subscribe. Thank you, and I am grateful for you today. Love to love you. Thank you. Bye.